You wake up every morning believing you're free to choose what to wear, what to eat, which path to take. But what if I told you that 11 seconds before you consciously decide, your brain has already made the decision for you? Yes, modern neuroscience has proven. Your choices begin in the unconscious before you're even aware you're choosing. While you struggle to take control of your life, there's an invisible force operating in the shadows of your mind. A force Freud called the unconscious, Jung named the shadow, and that today we know is wired into the most primitive circuits of your brain. You're not the captain of your ship. You're just a passenger watching your fate unfold. But there is hope? Why do you always choose the same type of partner? Why do you repeat the same self-destructive patterns? Why, even when you know what's right, do you still do what hurts? The answer has been imprinted in you before you were born. Sigmund Freud revolutionized our understanding of the human mind when he discovered that only 10% of our psyche is conscious. Like an iceberg, the largest part of who you are lies submerged, unseen but controlling every move you make. The ego is not master in its own house. Sigmund Freud. Your brain operates with three forces in constant battle. The ID, driven by primitive regions like the amygdala and hypothalamus, pure instinct. It wants pleasure now, knows no morals or consequences. It's the wild child screaming for immediate gratification. The superego, shaped in the insula cortex and central amygdala, the voice of parents, society, rules. It's guilt, shame, perfectionism crushing you. The ego, your overloaded prefrontal cortex, tries to mediate this war while dealing with real-world demands. Modern neuroscience confirms, every decision you make is a product of this unconscious battle. You don't decide rationally. You only justify the decisions your unconscious already made. Carl Jung, Freud's student-turned-rival, made an even more disturbing discovery. We are not just ruled by our personal unconscious, but by a collective unconscious. Ancestral patterns engraved into the human psyche for thousands of years. Archetypes like the shadow, the anima and animus, the mother, the hero, they're not just poetic ideas. They're real neural structures shaping your choices without you realizing. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Did you choose your partner, or were you chosen by your internalized father-mother archetype? Did you choose your career, or were you directed by unresolved family ghosts? Are you free or just repeating a script written long before you were born? Jacques Lacan, the third giant of psychoanalysis, went even further. The unconscious is structured like a language. Your mind is not your own. You are spoken by language. Every word you use, every desire you feel, every fear that paralyzes you, are signs of a symbolic structure that existed before you. Think of the last time you said, "I don't know why I did that." The last time you self-sabotaged just as everything was going right. The last time you repeated the exact mistake you swore you'd never make again. That wasn't weakness. That was your unconscious executing its programs. Decision-making, according to neuroscience, happens mostly in the primitive limbic system, the same regions Freud intuitively linked to the unconscious. When you decide something, your prefrontal cortex is just signing off on a decision already made by your unconscious mind. Now you're beginning to grasp the magnitude of the problem? Australian researchers were able to predict people's decisions 11 seconds before they reported making them consciously. In that time, you could count to 10, and your decision was already made before you reached 1. Your brain operates like a prediction machine, running on unconscious patterns built through repetition. Every unresolved trauma, every family pattern, every emotional wound creates neural paths that guide your future choices. That's why you always attract the same kind of problem. Your relationships follow the same script. Your fears paralyze you at the same moments. You self-sabotage right when things are finally working. Dopamine makes you repeat behaviors that brought pleasure in the past. Serotonin shapes your moods based on learned social patterns. Noradrenaline triggers survival responses based on old trauma. You are not free. You are a set of conditioned reflexes. But here is the truth that could set you free. Consciousness is the only antidote to destiny. Consciousness is not a light, but it's as if it illuminates the present moment. Meanwhile, the mind runs between what has been and what is yet to come. When you become still, you see yourself and realize how much you think. That is consciousness. Making the unconscious conscious is not a poetic idea. It's a neurobiological necessity if you want to be truly free. Here are the tools neuroscience and psychoanalysis offer. Before making a big decision, pause. Count to 11. Ask yourself, is this choice mine or my unconscious patterns? Identify your repetitions. What types of people do you always choose? What mistakes do you always make? These are your unconscious signatures. Listen to your language. Freud discovered the unconscious speaks through slips, mistakes, forgetfulness. Your words betray your mind. Don't just watch your thoughts. Ask where they come from. Whose voice is speaking through you? Is it yours? Or someone who programmed you? When a strong emotion hits, ask, is this about now or a past I never healed? Fate is not fixed. You can rewrite the algorithms of your unconscious. Every time you choose consciously instead of reacting automatically, you create new neural pathways. You break free from the prison of inherited patterns. Jung was right. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. But when you bring light to the shadows of your mind, when you understand the programs that run you, when you stop being a puppet of your own patterns, you finally become the author of your own story. Your brain controls your destiny only as long as you let it operate in the dark. It's time to turn on the lights. If this video touched you, it's because something in your unconscious recognized the truth. Share it with someone who needs to wake up. And remember, the first step to freedom is recognizing the prison.